afternoon, fellow book lovers, and welcome back to my channel. I mean, it could be morning or evening when you're watching this, but I'm filming in the afternoon. So for today's video, I thought I would run through all of the books that are currently on my physical TBR. I've got a decent amount here. I try really hard to kind of get through most of my books before I do another big book haul, but I've definitely accumulated quite a few recently. So my physical TBR is looking a little bit longer than normal. So I thought I would share them with you. But the first thing I want to talk about is this absolutely adorable jumper. So if you are familiar with me at all, you'll know that I love the Magnolia Park series. I've got this gorgeous little detail on the sleeves. So it is my House the Weather Parks sweatshirt. And I absolutely adore it. I haven't taken it off since the UK has kind of gone rainy and cold enough that I can get away with wearing it. It has been my jumper for all of my dog walks. I will link it in the description so you can see that the Etsy shop that I bought it off of. But I just a moment of appreciation for my favourite universe in the world. So to start off my physical TBR, we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This has probably been on my TBR for a really long time because I loved the flat share, really did enjoy it, but there are so many books that I love more. So I just haven't been driven to pick this up as of yet. My mum's read it, but yeah, I just haven't quite gotten to the stage where I've picked it up, but I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. Maybe I need to wait until I'm going on a long car journey that someone else is driving, and maybe that'll spur me to pick it up. And then the only other standalone book that I have on my TBR is Archer's Voice by Sheridan. Everything else I've got is all parts of series. So this is the only other standalone book that I've got. This was bought pretty recently in my last book haul that I bought. I've been wanting to read it forever, so I'm really excited to get into it. I think I've mentioned before, or maybe I haven't, but I am such a series person. Like, I'm not big on just standalones because I'm the type of person that gets so invested in characters and I love them and I want to read more about them. So standalone novels tend not to be my go-to just because I miss them and there's no way of getting back into this world. However, I'm not adverse to them, they're just not my standard, but Archer's Voice has been one that I've wanted to read for ages, so I'm pretty certain I'll probably get to it fairly quickly, but I'm just really glad to finally have my hands on it. This is another book that has been on my TBR for a while, and some of you are probably going to scream at the camera when I show you what it is, so apologies here. But A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Now I picked this up in The Works, which is a UK bookstore, or it's a UK store and they sell really cheap books. I think I got this for like £3, otherwise I probably wouldn't have picked it up. I'm not a fantasy girly, I'm just not. I am much more of a contemporary romance girly. So this is not really my vibe. But I know so many people love it and I know it's turned so many people into fantasy people, and yeah, maybe I should give it a go at some point, but it's on my TBR, but I have no idea when I'll get to it. So if you've read it, maybe leave me some comments and kind of let me know what you loved about it. Spoiler free, please, just because I will read it at some point, but just let me know what you loved about it and I can kind of then hopefully spur myself to delve into this kind of world, and maybe, who knows, I could then start picking up fantasies left, right and centre, and that would be a whole new book genre to sort of delve into, which would be cool. I then have a series that I haven't even started yet. The Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. I worry that I never pronounce her name right, but I've got King of Wrath here. And again, I picked this up in The Works because I was in the middle of the Twisted series, was loving her writing, and was really keen to see where this next series went. However, at the end of Twisted Lies, I was kind of left feeling put off is probably the wrong word, but I didn't love that book. It was my least favourite in the entire series, and I know that's controversial because I know so many people absolutely adore that book, but it was my least favourite. It took me ages to get through. I think I was reading it for nearly a month. It just did not hit anywhere near as close to the other 3 books had, and then I thought I was going to go straight into this one, but I was left with such a kind of just dislike for that I don't know, I didn't want to jump into this straight away. But it's definitely been a fair few months since I finished that, so I'm sure I'll jump into this soon, as I know that there's another book out and more coming. So I definitely want to like this series. I just think I needed a break from her writing for a minute, just because of how much the last one just didn't do it for me. I then have 2 books in the Prep series, a prep novel by Elle Kennedy. So I have Misfit and I have Rogue. Super annoying because they are different styles of covers. These are the new ones and these are the old ones, I think. They don't look too bad sat on the shelf, but the spines are slightly different, but I'm not too worried. I don't know why I haven't picked these up yet, if I'm being completely honest. They're kind of there, but I think because it's just getting into a new series and it's building a new world, I've just been so focused on the series that I've already started. So I haven't quite gotten to these yet, but I do love a sort of like prep school kind of vibe, and I love the Avalon Bay series that she's written. That's one of my favourite series. But I'm just loving the fact that this girl, the main character in Misfit, is also called Sloane. I swear I've read like 2 books recently where the main character is called Sloane. Is it just a name that's popping back up in books these days? I don't know. But I've got these 2 ready to go when I'm ready to delve into a new series. I have then got the book Ricochet, which is the 2nd book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters universe. This is still following Lily and Lo. She's a sex addict, he's an alcoholic, and the first one is called Addicted to You. And yeah, I read it while I was on holiday in Greece. Spanned through it really fast. It was really cool, really good. I love the idea that it is a 10-book series. I think it's daunting that there are 10 books. But I'm looking forward to it. I want to get to this soon, but it's kind of just been sat there staring at me. I ordered it straight away when I got home, thinking I'd dive straight into it, but then I think I also ordered the Magnolia Parks books at the same time, the next 3 after I'd read the first one, and then that was it. That consumed me. But yeah, so I'm sure I want to love this the way other people love it. I know this book is such a core favourite for a lot of readers, so I would really like that to be the same for me. So I will have to get to it at some point to see if that could be the case. And then I'm fairly certain I've shown these before in a book haul, but I have the last 2 books in the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. So I've got Wrecked and I have Redeemed. These are books 3 and 4. I have read the first 2 and really enjoyed them. So these came recently. These were quite a recent buy for me. I just ended up starting the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver and kind of have been consumed by that. So I haven't quite gotten to these 2, but the way Lauren Asher does covers on these series specifically, I don't know whether you're going to be able to tell, but they are like matte covers. They're like this super cute, like, I don't even know. But yeah, it's matte and it's got a really interesting sort of like a texture to it. I just think they're so cool. They're quite heavy books, so they're very good quality. They're like quite bright white pages as well. They are just such well put together books. So I'm looking forward to getting to those 2. I think probably once I've wrapped up Chestnut Springs series, I'll probably get to them. Then, talking of the Chestnut Springs series, the last one that I have to read is Reckless. I'm currently about 70% of the way through Powerless. So this is the last one in the series currently on my TBR, as Hopeless is not out yet. It is on pre-order, so as soon as it comes out it will be in my possession. But yes, I've got Reckless, which I believe is like a accidental pregnancy trope, which will be, yeah, I reckon it will be fantastic. And I believe this is Summer's sister Winter, I think. Some are from the first book. I believe this is her sister, but I could be wrong. I don't like going into them knowing too much about them. So yeah, last book in the Chestnut Spring series that is currently out is very much on my TBR. And then the last book I have to talk about, last but by no means least. Now this may surprise you that I've not read it yet. But Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. I'm being so patient, and I'm holding out because I am very hyper aware that the next book in this series doesn't come out until February, and if I read this now, what am I going to do for the next however many months? So, as much as the second I finished The Long Way Home, I really wanted to literally devour every inch of this book. I wanted to see the events of The Long Way Home in Julian's point of view, and I want to know what's happening with Daisy and Christian, and there was so much that I wanted to know about this book, and I still do, and 100% I'm almost guaranteeing I'm going to read it and it's going to hit exactly where I need it to. So I'm okay with waiting and just holding out a little minute until I've not got quite as long to wait until the next Magnolia Parks book comes out, because I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to be pining for the next book. I'm okay at the minute waiting, holding out, knowing that this is on my shelf, so if I go into a slump or anything even remotely similar to that, all I'm going to have to do is pick up my Daisy Hates and I'm automatically going to be transported back into the world that I have fallen so deeply in love with. And so those are the 11 books that are currently on my physical TBR. So they're the books that I currently actually have on my shelf that I want to read. I have recently got into my audiobook journey, and so I'm currently listening to I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy on Audible. So I have a few like TBR or to listen to books on my Audible, so I'd definitely be interested in making a video kind of going through that, maybe in a couple of months once I've kind of delved a bit deeper into exactly what kind of audiobooks I like. I think I've got an idea, but just delve into a little bit more as to what audiobooks I really enjoy listening to. I think I'm probably gonna end up getting the Magnolia Parks audiobook just so that I can hear my favourite book in my head, I think. But I will keep you updated on that as to what you think. So if you've got any like opinions on any of the books that I've talked about that you think I should get to super soon, other than Reckless, because I'm going to read that as soon as I finish Powerless, regardless. I'm probably going to finish Powerless today, the day that I'm recording. So by the time you're seeing this, I've probably already even started Reckless or finished it. But I'm definitely going to be getting to that. But if you've got any opinions or any suggestions as to what of the other books I should get to ASAP, drop me a comment below, let me know, and I would be so excited to go through and see what you think are the books that I should be reading. Along with if you've got any other book recommendations that I haven't given here. If you weren't a fantasy reader and you've suddenly developed a taste for fantasy, please drop me some below. I'm probably going to be more fantasy romance, so I'm just putting it out there. I think if there was no romance, we're probably pushing it right now for me. But yeah, maybe let me know. That would be great. I will drop the link for the sweatshirt down below, just so if you fancy checking out the Etsy seller, you can. I think she did loads of other like bookish merch as well. I'm thinking of doing a bookish order off of Etsy. So if I do that, I'll probably do a haul of like little bits that I've got, bookmarks, stickers, all that kind of jazz that I'm sure you guys all love. But thank you so much for watching. Again, sticking with me through this as I'm kind of getting used to YouTube and the world of recording. I'm loving doing this, and I'm loving just chatting to a camera and pretending that I'm chatting to friends who are also absolute book lovers like me. So thank you so much for watching. Please do share with your friends and give this video a like and a comment, and if you fancy seeing more from an amateur booktuber, please do subscribe. I would love to have more book friends joining my journey. Have a fantastic rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching this, and I will see you again soon. Bye!